Model number 1, I'm going to follow these actions. Your paper looks like mine, right? We're dissecting the prompt, so we answer the whole thing. So first, we're going to circle action verbs. These are verbs that tell us what to do. So when I'm going through, I see, what does Nick's background about Gatsby reveal about his character? Reveal would be an action verb. I have to talk about how Gatsby is revealed, right, in my paper. Let's circle that. Then I look at the second question. To what extent does this passage characterize Gatsby as overly ambitious? And I see what verb?
Characterize.
Because I have to characterize Gatsby. That's my job. I circle it. It's an action verb that I have to do. Okay? So I circle these two verbs. The second thing I'm going to do is box question words. Obviously, if there's a question in a prompt, you have to
Answer it.
okay, so I'm going to who, what, when, where, why, right? I see two whats. I box them. Make sure you're boxing the two whats. This is simple stuff, right? But hopefully it slows us down and helps us to break down the prompt so that we answer it in 100% completion. So right here, after I circle and after I box, I create a checklist. What two things am I asked to do? So, wait, I'm talking. So right here, what does Nick's background about Gatsby reveal about his character? So this is talking about Gatsby's past or present? Past or present? I'd say past, right? About Nick's background, right? So I would say, discuss how Nick, and I use my verb, reveals Gatsby's past. So make sure you have that. Discuss how Nick reveals Gatsby's past. I use my verb, and I also make sure I'm answering the first question. Write that down. Okay. So, right here, discuss how Nick reveals Gatsby's past. The second thing asks me to do what? Can I just use that as my verb? Can I just start with characterize? Why not?
That's not what the question is.
Well, does the question tell me to characterize? Yeah, so I'm just going to put characterize what? Or characterize who, excuse me?
Gatsby.
Okay, characterize Gatsby as overly ambitious. Again, using my prompt to create this checklist. Okay, characterize Gatsby as overly ambitious. Now, a lot of us only answered one of the check boxes, right? We must answer both to get full credit, to score mastery, to be a really effective writer. And so that's what we're working on today. Breaking down the prompt so that we answer both questions. So what you're going to do now is scrolling down on your page to independent practice number 1. This has one question, but guess what? How many things does it tell you to do in one question?
2.
Okay, I want you to use your boxes, your circles, and then create a checklist. Okay, I'm going to come around in about 15 seconds. Look that we've boxed question words, circled action verbs. That's good. As soon as you're done, you can go to create your checklist. That's fine. I know you circled these things. It's important that they're important. It's not right. So here, what are you discussing first? about 20 more seconds. I know some of us are done. Alright, eyes up here. So I want to show you 2 examples, 2 right answers, 2 different ways though, okay? Okay, but both get the same idea. So if you have one of these, you would be correct. So first, Darius here has that, he kind of put it in question form, which is fine. He asked himself 2 questions. What ideas are revealed about the American dream through symbolism? What ideas are revealed through imagery? The key here is that one part is talking about and one is talking about
Imagery.
Can you only talk about one?
No.
Okay, so this could be right. Some of you have said, one, you have to name the ideas revealed about what here, Kenneth?
I can't see that for.
Well, it's name the ideas revealed about what? If the prompt asks you, what ideas about the American dream are revealed through symbolism, what would you have to add here? Someone help him out. What ideas? Name the ideas revealed about what, Najara? Okay, American dream, right? So you could say, one thing you have to do is talk about the American dream, right? And then the second thing you have to do is talk about, he says, discuss how imagery and symbolism reveal them. Again, that works too because you are also doing 2 things, discussing the American dream and discussing the literary devices. But my key here today is what 2 literary devices must you discuss? Al. What 2 literary devices must you discuss? Okay, can you only talk about one, Justin?
No.
Okay, so from here, let's go up to model 2. We're gonna make sure your head's up. Look at me. I look very pretty today. Look at me. All right, Justin Howard. All right. Oh man, I creased your paper. All right, so right here, we're gonna now create an argument based on our prompt, right? Because if we have to discuss 2 things in the prompt, our argument also has to. Okay, so right here, first thing I do is state the author's name and the title. Pretty simple, let's do it. Okay, In the Great Gatsby. Okay, In the Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I wish he had a smaller name. In the Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. That was my first step. Where's the model? Right here. You're right, yeah. So, In the Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. First thing is I have to say what the author uses, right? Name the literary device. So who can remember from last week? I'll give you +2 for excellence if you remember, so raise your hand if you know. That's pretty cocky right there. Okay, so when Nick is revealing information about Gatsby, what literary device is that called? When it's Nick revealing about Gatsby. Kristan? Oh, no. Where's your Joshua? No, oh my gosh.
A flashbang.
No, okay. When there's a, listen, when there's a, yeah, so when there's a narrator who's not the main character, who tells the story. Darius? Oh, okay, okay. Let's go, Kenneth, write it down. The author uses peripheral narration. Okay, the author uses peripheral narration. Okay, the author uses peripheral narration, and this is where we have to make sure we have 2 parts of our prompt. 2, we have to talk about Gatsby's past and his present, right? With a raised hand here, who can tell me how did Gatsby start his life? William? And what, do you remember what his parents were? They told you, they're farmers, okay? So, we're going to say, he uses peripheral narration to reveal how Gatsby transformed from a poor farmer to a rich, and what's the prompt call it? A rich what kind of man?
Overly ambitious.
Oh, okay, to a rich, overly ambitious man. So make sure you have this. He transformed from a poor farmer to a rich, overly ambitious man. Justin, you got that? All right. Can someone tell me? Okay, Mom, go. Can someone tell me?
I don't know.
So can someone tell me why I put a number 1 next to poor farmer? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why I put a number 1 next to poor farmer? Justin? And what? But what? How does that connect to our prompt?
This is background.
Kenneth, that's one. That's inappropriate. Who can help us out? How does that connect to our prompt? Jada?
Because the dick reveals Gatsby's past.
So